YouTube. I'm back and I'm obviously on a set schedule now, so yes, this is Monday's video. So this video is obviously about JayZ's new album. I could not put this video up on Saturday. I couldn't tape it on Friday. I needed to really listen and get into JayZ. Now before I start this review, I just want to say that I grew up on Hove, so I'm gonna try my best not to be biased. I'm really gonna try my best not to be biased. I'm gonna try to take the stand out of my opinion on this album. So yeah. So last Friday, Hove released his album 444, and I remember leading up to it, everybody kind of saw these signs all over the city and no one knew what they were. I think I found out a little bit later what it was. I was very confused at first. I didn't know what was happening. And then people were saying, oh, it means that she had her babies at 444, whatever, but it was like, it was up there before 444 or whatever it was. And then people were like somehow guessing genders off of 444 and then the pink sign, and I don't know, but we soon found out that it had something to do with JayZ's album because he started releasing these videos with these actors in it, and I thought it was gonna be a visual album, but I guess it's not a visual album. And the confusing part about it is he released 3 clips, and in those 3 clips there were three different songs, and they had different titles. None of those songs are on the album, so I don't know if this means that he's gonna transition into a visual album after this, or he's releasing a bunch of videos. I have no idea, but he did release the album and it was a bomb, and he released 1 video I believe so far, and it's for the OJ song, which is the second song on the album. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rate the album first, and then we're gonna go track by track. So off that, I give this album a 9 out of 10, only because I don't want to be biased and give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, I've been waiting for a long time for new Hove. Like, I really have. And his verses on certain people's songs, they haven't been that good. And I can say that as a fan. Like, it's just the honest truth. So let's get into the album. So off bat, Kill JayZ is the first song on the album. It comes in, beat is flawless. Shout out to No ID. He did his thing with this album. It starts off, you know, Kill JayZ. Fuck JayZ. Out the gate, he's already like, I'm gonna just give y'all stuff to say since y'all are gonna listen to this album and say fuck JayZ anyways. That's what I got from that. The biggest highlight of that song, I think, what probably stuck out the most to a lot of people was the Kanye referencing during that song, where he said something about you gave him 20 mil without blinking and he gave you 20 minutes on stage. What the fuck was he thinking? And then he goes into like, if everyone's crazy, then you're insane, and this whole thing where people are kind of just like, oh my god, the JayZ Kanye relationship is over, it's done, it's official. And then I believe this morning news came out that Kanye is suing him for $3 million, him and Tidal. So it's safe to say that their friendship has been a little bit rocky over the course of the past few years. Right, I've lived for Hove since I was a little girl, grew up on Hove, and then in high school I kind of like became obsessed with Kanye West, and then I grew out of the obsession when he like switched on me. So part of me is really sad about the Kanye JayZ breakup, but another part of me is like, well girl, it was coming eventually. It was coming eventually, but it kind of sucks that now it's back to shots and songs. That's really kind of sad. It makes my heart break just a little bit every time I listen to it. But oh, one lyric I completely forgot was when he was like, in the future another nigga playing football with your son. That was Future, sis, hun, Darling. That's all I have to say about that. The whole Eric Benet thing, you almost Eric Benet, let the baddest girl in the world get away. And then Eric Benet got on Twitter and was like, I'm married to the baddest girl. And everybody was like, So the next song on the album is The Story of OJ. This song to me is the most important song on this album, especially for young black Americans. You guys really have to listen to what he is saying. Like, listen to what he's saying. So many of us are like stuck in debt, whether it be debt from loans or credit cards or whatever. We really have to start taking this shit serious, especially credit. A lot of the stuff in that song is stuff that my mom has kind of been beating into me and my sister since we were younger. I mean, I've been hearing it since high school. You need this kind of savings, you need that kind of savings. And then I got to college and it was like, you need to do this, this, and this. You need to work on your credit. And now that I'm older and out of school, and I basically kind of been thrown into a condo where I kind of have to start paying for stuff. My mother's like, okay, so yeah, credit, homeowning, like having stuff to bequeath off to the next family member. Like, this is really, really important. We need to learn how to build financial wealth as black people, because this is why Jewish people have everything in New York City. It's pretty serious. And he's getting into the ass of a lot of these young boys that are on Instagram doing the most with their stacks or whatever they want to call it. He's basically saying like, yo, no matter what your skin color is, you're still going to be a nigga to them. Period. It doesn't matter, you know, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. Like, that part I think is everybody's favorite part of that whole song, because it was like, okay, between him and Tiger Woods, it's like, bro, you're black. No matter how you want to push it and shove it, you're black. So kind of get over it. The strip club line, you know, what's more important than throwing money in a strip club? Credit. Another line that stuck out to me was about Dumbo, because I went to school in Dumbo before I knew before it had like the name Dumbo. It was just downtown Brooklyn. And, you know, when he said now it's worth 25 mil, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I really, really wouldn't be surprised, because those apartments and condos out there are going for like $2,000 a month for a 1-bedroom. So, sorry, Hov. Next on the album is my favorite song. It's, well, it's a tie between that and Something Else is my favorite. But Smile is like, it just makes me so happy. It makes me feel so warm inside. I don't know what it is, but I love the song. I love the beat. I love the message. I know the part that probably stuck out to a lot of people was the mentioning of his mom being a lesbian, having 4 kids. And everyone was like, what? She's a lesbian? And all this stuff. And he's like, you know, it wouldn't matter to me if it's a woman or a man. It's just as long as you're happy. And I thought that was so sweet. And then her poem at the end. First of all, I know the poem word for word already, girls. Like, I love it. I love it so much. Like, their relationship is so cute. And I think it's such an inspiration for him as a rapper to get on a song. Even though it's about his mom, get on a song and just kind of be like, yo, cut the homophobic shit out. I believe he also talks about his therapist in the song. And that's something that's also really important. That's also been like a really big topic with mental health in the black community, especially with black men, and how important it is to have at least an outlet. I mean, if you don't have a therapist, you can always find another outlet of finding someone to talk to. And I think that that's really, really important. He's touching base on a lot of things that we don't really necessarily speak about in our community. Therapy and financial freedom and building a good amount of credit and having things that you can give off to your children and make them wealthy in the future. A lot of stuff that we don't necessarily think about, or we try not to think about. So just off the bat of those two songs alone, he's speaking a lot of truth, and I think a lot of people need to listen to that shit, especially y'all guys. Like, next is Caught Their Eyes. That's with the Frank Ocean. That's with Frank Ocean. This song to me is probably my least favorite on the whole album. Not just because of Frank Ocean, but I don't know. I'm not feeling the song as a whole. the beat is alright. Jay is spitting again. He's talking about one thing he mentioned was the whole thing with Prince and how, you know, he left his masters with Jay-Z for a reason, and he gave him all of that stuff to put on Tidal. A lot of people don't know Prince was very active in Tidal before he passed. He was doing playlists. I have a few of his playlists that he made saved. He took it very serious with as far as like who he wanted to go with on streaming, and he took that route because Jay-Z is a black man and he wanted his masters left with a black streaming company, and when he passed they kind of just gave it to everyone, and I'm sure he was like rolling in his grave because no, that's a big no. So the next song is a song that started the whole discussion of cheating and staying with a cheater. 444, the title track. It's basically about him apologizing for his infidelities, and he's also apologizing to past women that he's dealt with. I just don't know what kind of stress you could literally put a woman through that she would lose so many children, especially because from a standpoint, again, I know that his past, 2 other women that he was dealing with also had miscarriages from dealing with him, and it's always kind of been known that he's kind of a shitty guy. I can't believe I'm saying that. You would think that someone at his age, at that point of when he threw the proposal to be together, about saying, you know, don't embarrass me, to a 21-year-old, and he was like, what, 30, was he 36 or something like that? No, he wasn't 36. Was he 36? I don't remember, but he was much older than she was, and you would think that he was mature at that time, but he didn't mature at all. And I just also learned that lesson, that older men are not always as mature as you think they are. Yeah, the song is basically him apologizing for the cheating and him, I guess, going through his mind, his subconscious of like, is it worth not being able to see your daughter? And I don't necessarily think that he's cheating now or like recently. I think that it's more of like seeing the future before it happens, you know, like when he was doing it, like now that he's thinking about like, was that worth it? Would have been worth it not to be able to be here now to see my children? And apologizing for the miscarriages or the stillbirths, as he said. Now it kind of sucks because people are like, Beyonce, you need to leave him, cheat back on him. And it's crazy because with Lemonade it was kind of like everyone was like, Jay-Z is this and that, he's horrible, and I feel like, I don't want to say it came and went, that whole like thing of him cheating, you know, because then people thought, oh, she's just doing this for the album, and then he kind of was like, well guys, see what had happened was I don't feel like this is gonna blow over, only because now she's coming back to perform, and I'm sure she's gonna work on a new album or a new era, and now people are kind of expecting her to have an answer for this. And then on top of that, it's like everything she does from this point on, everyone's gonna be like, well, you should leave him, why are you still with him? And it's just like gonna be a big thing. And now it's this long drawn out discussion of cheating. Are you gonna stay with a cheater? Married or not, do you, even though they broke that vow of trust, are you going to completely get rid of your vows and divorce them? So next is Family Feud. Family Feuds. Beyonce, vocals down, sis. I think that's a cover of a Clark Sisters song. And just angelic and freaking angelic. This song, what I got from Family Feud was more of him talking about like young versus old, especially with the rap generation, because that has been a battle these past few I mean, it's been leading up for a few years, but like this year has been insane with the old rappers like clashing with the younger rappers, and I think it's so bad. It doesn't push the culture forward. It makes y'all all look stupid, especially the older guys. At one point he says, you know, and old cats stop acting brand new, you know, don't act like Tupac ain't have a nose ring too. Like, hello. Y'all are attacking them for their fashion choices and all that shit, but like, people was already doing this. Andre 3000 already did what Uzi is doing. You know what I'm saying? All of this coming at them because their clothing isn't baggy and isn't big. Y'all really need to be happy that, you know, these rappers are walking around looking the way they're looking. You know, Migos is walking around with their blouses tucked into their pants and their pants at their waist with their belts on. Like, they're even tucking in t-shirts. Like, be happy that that's what this culture is given right now. Don't attack them for their fashion choices, because people let y'all express yourselves and just how y'all bitching and moaning. The older people while y'all were out were bitching and moaning about y'all. So it's kind of like, yo, let people do what they doing. Let them learn from their art. Let them grow from their art all on their own. And I think Hov has always been really good at supporting younger rappers or up and coming rappers and just, you know, pushing them forward to do what they want to do. He's always been that way. And I think it's dope that he finally did it on a song where he's like, yo, y'all need to chill out. It's not that serious. You know, nobody wins when the family fights. You know, when the family feuds, the rap family feuds, no one is going to win from this at all. So that's what I took from that song. The next song is Band with Damian Marley, and I think it's a cute island song, a cute feature, a bit of a cocky song, which is, he always has to have one, you know. He always has to have one where he's kind of like letting y'all know, like, yo, I'm doing this shit and I've been doing this shit and nobody's gonna stop me from doing it. You know, I came, I saw, I conquered. Moonlight! Oh my god. So, first of all, the hook of the song is, you know, y'all stuck in La La Land even when we lose. It's a whole play off of the Oscar thing where they gave the award to La La Land, but it was really Moonlight, and even though we won, we still lost because La La Land was in the headlines even more than Moonlight was in the headlines for winning. It's just, he also talks about you guys are still signing record deals, you know, having you guys learn from Lauryn Hill, and again with the masters of them taking stuff from these artists and taking their hard work away from them. And again, he mentions Prince. I mean, I think Jay-Z is really messed up about the whole Prince thing. Like, he really feels some type of way, and he should feel some type of way about it, but you know, that's life. He also gets into the IG stuff, like, stop snitching on yourself on Instagram. Especially a lot of these scammers. All they do is snitching on themselves. Stop posting guns that you ain't using on nobody. Stop talking about guns you ain't using on nobody. Just stop being fake. Next song is Marcy Me, right? Yeah. That's basically just a walk. I feel like that's just a walk down memory lane. You know, just a reminder of where he came from. You know, did he think he was ever going to be this big when he was in Marcy? Probably not. That's what I got from the song. Very last song on the album, which is my second favorite song on the album. It kind of rivals Smile a bit, is Legacy. That song is so smooth. It is so, like, the beat, his flow, the lyrics, like, just smooth like butter. Like, I don't know what it is. I love that song so much. And it's another one about building up that wealth for your children. It opens with Blue Ivy, you know, saying, "Daddy, what's a will?" And I don't know, why does she say daddy like that? She says it like she's British. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, basically opens up with his daughter asking him, "What's a will?" And he goes into this whole thing of, you know, breaking down each family member, what they would do, and maybe she'll want to help, you know, do something for poor kids, send them to school and stuff like that. So he's basically, again, really highlighting the fact that it's very important to make sure you're building financial freedom for your children and a great financial base, and helping them get to where they want to be and do what they want to do, whether you're alive or not. making sure that you're leaving something that can help them build off of it, you know. But yeah, that's basically what I got from the album. He started so many conversations, you know, therapy, cheating, making sure your kids are all good, Instagram thing. The whole Instagram fake thug, fake rich, you know. I love Jay-Z. I love his album. It's very difficult for me to say anything bad about him or Puffy because it's my childhood and I just love them so much and I will always support them. So yes, please rate, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you like my choker, this is a choker from chokeme2.com, and you can use my code BrooklynYale to get 15% off your order. I'll make sure to put the link in the bio. Peace out. Bye.